Assalamu alaikum. Coordinate geometry. So this is the topic that we are going to do today. So for coordinate geometry, we need to have minimum 2 points to make a line segment. Those 2 points will be having their x and y coordinates, and with respect to that, the x and y coordinates of the 2 points, we will be finding the distance, the midpoint, and the gradient. For instance, if you are given a straight line with coordinates, let's say the coordinates are a 1 comma 5 and we have b which is 7 comma 1. So if I just sketch these 2 points, I can see that on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So for a and b, if I sketch the 2 points 1 comma 5, meaning the x coordinate is a 1 and the y coordinate a 5, b x coordinate is 7 and y coordinate a 1, I can see that I have the line, a straight line, and for this straight line I can find the distance between the 2 points. So the distance formula for AB, the general formula for distance is equal to under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. This is the general formula to calculate the distance of a straight line. In this case, if I'm talking about A and B, then I can say that the distance between A and B is basically 7 minus 1, which is going to be the horizontal distance, and 5 minus 1, which is going to be the vertical distance between the lines. And I can very easily say that the distance AB is equals to 6 the whole square plus 4 the whole square, or I can say that this distance AB is equal to a 36 plus 16, or the distance between A and B for the line then is going to be under root 52 here. So this is how I will be finding the distance between the two lines. Now over here I have used the general formula to calculate the distance between the two given points. Now if I just have to do it graphically, what I can see here is that when I say this is x2 minus x1, basically x2 minus x1 is the horizontal distance between the 2 points A and B. I'm saying it's a 7 minus 1 which is equals to a 6. I can see that 7 minus 1 is equals to a 6. So this is actually the horizontal distance between the points A and B. Then if I look at the vertical distance, then I can see that for the vertical distance, it is going to be the distance from here to here, which should be equal to 5 minus 1, that is equals to a 4. So 5 minus 1 equals to a 4 here. Now what I see here is that if I have joined the vertical and the horizontal distances, then basically I'm going to have a right angle triangle, and with respect to the right angle triangle, the distance formula is actually representing the Pythagoras theorem, where I can say that the distance AB is actually the hypotenuse, the whole square, which is equals to the base, the whole square, plus the perpendicular, the whole square. This is actually the Pythagoras theorem. So the distance formula in coordinate geometry is actually being used or being taken from the Pythagoras theorem, which says it's hypotenuse the whole square, which is equals to base the whole square, plus perpendicular the whole square. So this is one way of memorizing the distance formula. So either you just get the distance horizontal or vertical from the very beginning, and then just say that this is going to be 6 the whole square plus 4 the whole square, and take the under root, and we can have the distance here. So this is the basics of the distance formula. Now after the distance formula, we can have the midpoint. We can have the midpoint of the two given points A and B, and as the word suggests, the midpoint has to be in the middle of the line AB. This will be representing the midpoint here. So what is going to be the distance? What is going to be the midpoint formula? The midpoint formula will be equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. This is the midpoint formula. And for the same line that we have with A as 1, 5 and B as 7, 1, if I need to find the midpoint, then I can say that my midpoint is equal to 1 plus 7 divided by 2 and 5 plus 1 divided by 2 here. So midpoint then will be equal to 8 divided by 2 or 6 divided by 2, giving us the coordinates as the midpoint as 4, 3. So this means that the midpoint for this case A and B is actually going to be 4, 3 here. Now it's also very much obvious that for 7 and 1, if I'm saying that my x coordinate is a 4, then the distance from 1 to 4 is a 3 unit and the distance from 4 to 7 is also a 3 unit, actually giving me the x midpoint coordinate. And in the same manner, if I say that my midpoint along the y-axis is a 3, then I can see that from 1 till 3 the interval is 2 units and from 5 till 3 the interval is also 2 units, giving us the justified midpoint along the y-axis. Therefore, the midpoint can be 4, 3. So the general formula to get the distance, to get the midpoint, is going to be x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2 here. So let's do another example. Find the length and the midpoint of the straight line joining the following points P 6, -1 and Q 9, -4. So again, we know that the distance formula is equals to under root x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Or in case of PQ, I can say that the distance is going to be from xq minus xp the whole square plus yq minus yp the whole square. So inserting the values of p and q, I can say that it is 9 minus 6 the whole square plus -4, negative and -1 the whole square. So PQ here is going to be under root 3 the whole square plus -4 plus 1 the whole square. Now we need to be very particular with the negative signs because multiplied by negative, the sign always changes. So here I can say it's a 9 plus -3 the whole square, or I can say this is 9 plus 9 giving us under root 18. So under root 18 is going to be the distance of the line P and Q. This under root 18 can also be written as 4.24 units or 3 under root 2. Now 3 under root 2, some of the students, they do ask how we can give a simplified answer in the radical form as 3 under root 2. So here I would suggest taking LCM of 18. So if I take LCM of 18, then this is going to be 2 9s are, 3 3s are, and then 3 1s are. I've just taken the LCM of 18 here, and from here I have come to know that 3 is making a set, so that this under root 18 can be written as 3 the whole square into 2, or I can say this is 3 square to the power 1 by 2 into 2 to the power 1 by 2 the square and the radical 1 by 2 gets cancelled, and I can say that the simplified answer for under root 18 is just going to be 3 under root 2 here. So this is my simplified exact answer for under root 18, and the decimal answer is a 4.24 units. So this is how I will be getting the distance for the line P and Q. So the question asked us to get the length and then the midpoint of the straight line joining the following points. So for the same points P and Q, to find the midpoint, I'm supposed to find the midpoint for the points P, which is 6 and a negative 1, and Q is 9 comma negative 4. So we know that the midpoint formula is the sum of the two coordinates, x coordinates, which are the x coordinate of P and the x coordinate of Q, divided by 2, and y coordinate, the sum of the y coordinates of the 2 points, also divided by 2. So if I substitute these values, I can say that it's 6 plus 9 divided by 2, or I can say it's a negative 1, negative 4, positive times negative 4. I can say it's a negative 1 plus times negative 4 divided by 2, or I can say that my midpoints here are 15 by 2 and a negative 1, negative 4 divided by 2, so that I can just say that it's a 7.5 here and it's a negative 5 divided by 2, and I can see that the midpoints are 7.5 and a negative 2.5 here. So this is how we will be finding out the distance and the midpoint for the two given points that we have. So the question says the midpoints of the line joining the points A, P, comma negative 2 and B, 6, comma negative 8 is 1, comma Q. So find P and Q. So to do that, we know the coordinate of A, the x coordinate is unknown, it's a P, y coordinate is a negative 2, B has coordinates 6 and negative 1, and they have given us the midpoint, which is 1, comma Q. So if they have given us the midpoint, then we should be applying the midpoint formula, which is going to be XA plus XB divided by 2, and also YA plus YB divided by 2. So the midpoint is given to us. So I will be equating the x coordinate, the midpoint x coordinate, which is a 1, to the x coordinates of A and B, which is going to be P plus 6 divided by 2. And in the same way, if I compare the y coordinates of the midpoint to the y coordinates of A and B, I will say it's a negative 2 plus bracket negative 8 divided by 2. So it's just now to solve the equation, and I can say it's 2, which is equals to P plus 6, or P then will be equal to 2 minus 6, giving us P is equals to negative 4. And in this case, I can say it's 2Q, which is equals to negative 2, negative 8. 2Q is equal to negative 10. Or I can say it's the Q, which is equals to negative 10 divided by 2, or Q is equals to negative 5. So this is how I will be finding the P and Q values for the given question. Let's do another question. And the question says, the diagram above shows a straight line AC with the midpoint B. So let's underline the keywords. They are saying it's the straight line AC and the midpoint is B, and BD is perpendicular to AC, and we are supposed to find the area of the triangle ACD here. So these are the keywords and the key information that we have for this question. So it's a straight line AC, and we can see that the coordinates of A are negative 2 and a 3, the coordinate of C 6, 7, and the coordinate of B is supposed to be the midpoint. So B is the midpoint of AC. So I can say that for B, it's going to be XA plus XC divided by 2. I am applying the midpoint formula here. And YA plus YC divided by 2. So just substituting all the values, I can get the B coordinates very easily, and I can say that my B coordinates are -2 plus 6 divided by 2 and 3 plus 7 divided by 2. So B will be equal to a 4 by 2 or a 10 by 2, or I can have the B coordinates which are 2 and a 5. So I have the B coordinates. So I'm done with the first information. AC was a straight line, B was the midpoint. So I have the midpoint coordinates of B here. Now the second thing is BD is perpendicular to AC. So now with further information, I know that they are asking for the area of the triangle ACD, and for the area of the triangle ACD, I know that the area of the triangle is given by the formula, which is the area of a triangle, which is 1 by 2 into base into height. So if BD is perpendicular, if BD is perpendicular to AC, then I can say that AC is actually the base and perpendicular always makes the height. Therefore, BD is going to be the height of this triangle. So the only thing that is left now is to find the distance of AC, and to find the distance of AC, I have the A coordinates -2 and 3. I have the C coordinates 6 and a 7. I know that the distance formula is AC, which is equals to under root XC minus XA the whole square plus YC minus YA the whole square. Just in place of Y2 and Y1, I am substituting XC, meaning the X coordinate of C, and the Y coordinate of and the X coordinate of A, and so on for the Y coordinates. So substituting the values, it's going to be under root 6 minus -2 the whole square plus 7 minus 3 the whole square, or I can say it's AC, which is equals to under root 6 plus 2, giving me 8 the whole square, 7 minus 3, that gives me 4 the whole square, or I can say that my AC is equals to under root 8 the whole square plus 4 the whole square, or further I can say this is a 64 plus 16, or I can say that the AC is going to be under root 80, which can also be written as 4 under root 5 units. Now in the same manner, I can find the distance of BD. BD being the height, I can say that this BD, it's perpendicular, therefore it should be the height of the triangle. So to find the distance of BD, I have the B coordinates as well as the D coordinates. So I'll be substituting the B and the D coordinates. I'll be substituting the B coordinates as, we got the B coordinates as 2, 5. We got the B coordinates 2, 5. D coordinates are given 5 and a -1. So to get the distance BD, I will again be substituting XD minus XB the whole square plus its YD minus YB the whole square, or its BD, which is equals to under root 5 minus 2 the whole square plus -1 minus 5 the whole square. Solving it, it's 3 the whole square and a plus -6 the whole square. So just remember that negative square always becomes a positive, and this is what the distance is about. Distance can never be a negative. So it's going to be a 9 plus 36, or I can say this is under root 45, or BD is equals to 3 under root 5 units. So I have the base length AC, which is 4 under root 5. I have the base length AC, which is 4 under root 5. I have the height, which is 3 under root 5. Substituting in the area formula, I can say that the area of triangle ACD is going to be 1 by 2 times the distance AC times the height BD, or I can say this is 1 by 2 into AC, that came out to be 4 under root 5, times BD, which is 3 under root 5. So 2 ones are 2 twos are, and solving it further, under root 5 into under root 5 will give me just a 5 unit. 6, 2 times 3, that's giving me a 6. Under root 5 into under root 5, that's just a 5. So I know that the area for this triangle comes out to be 30 unit square. So area triangle ACD. So area triangle ACD is equals to 30 unit square. That is going to be the answer to this solution.